Part of the job of the movement director is trying to help resolve problems physically of how we use the space, but also storytelling sometimes in character, putting together different bits of blocking and movement to tell the story. Hi, my name is Rachael Nanyonjo. I am a movement director and a choreographer. Well, I always knew I wanted to choreograph. I always knew I wanted to be a part of the crafting and storytelling process. So after graduating as a dancer, I started my own company, Kansaze Dance Theatre, and I realised that some of the work that I was doing wasn't just choreography in the sense of dance only. It was really looking at the space. It was really looking at characters. It was looking at how we can tell stories through the body.
If you don't mind, we'd sure like to use the bar.
As a movement director, it's really important for you to be able to relate to the plays that are happening, both in the present and in the past. So it's about making sure that you're trying to feed yourself in many different ways. So from musicals to Shakespeare, to physical theatre, I think it's to dance.
Oh, wonderful!
One of the first things that I do is creating a mood board. I reference from lots of different places and aesthetics. Thinking about Trouble in Mind, set in 1955, images of women and men in the 50s, what they would wear.
I'll wear those baggy cotton dresses, but damn if I'll wear another bandana.
We were looking a lot at the history of Black performance in America, so looking at minstrelling, looking at African-American tropes and how they were perceived and portrayed on TV. The styles of dance that were really popular at that time that was a part of performance. Being inspired by singers, artists, painters has always been a part of my process because I always bring it back into my own process in the room. Usually I will highlight all of the stage directions because that's really important so we understand where people are supposed to be, what they're doing. My notes consist of bits of blocking, what might be happening with sound, what might be happening with lighting, what can I add in terms of the physical language? Where are the moments of climax and drama? Where is it helpful to use physicality that text is not helpful?
Cut, relax at ease.
This industry is tough and you're going to be faced with a lot of rejection. You have to not take it personally because I get more no's than yeses when it comes to interviewing for jobs. You do need perseverance. It's really, really important. Going to see work is the first thing I would say. Try and do that. Don't be afraid to reach out to people whose work you've seen that you admire. Drop them an email and see whether they are willing to respond or maybe signpost you to a workshop. If you can, observe a rehearsal process for an afternoon. If you have the capacity to be an assistant or an intern, do that. You have more formalized routes such as the MA in movement directing at Central. But I think the thing is that to take an interest in what is happening in the world, that's really the best advice I can give.